coast is clear for APC to win the forthcoming governorship election in Edo State, President Tinubu affirms.
Thank you. That is here. For you to make name in Nigeria politics.
National Assembly holds public hearing. National Assembly holds public hearing for students' loans on seamless implementation.
Jigawa State residents all smiles as federal government distributes food palliative.
His Excellency Senator Bola Tinubu to easy things for the Ramadan.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall examine the proposed parliamentary system of government.
The news of a bill seeking to reintroduce the parliamentary system of government made headlines recently with its first passage at the House of Representatives.
Now, the proposed legislation, reportedly sponsored by 60 lawmakers, generated mixed reactions and debates on the reputation of a system of government some arguably say is flawed, diverse and complex.
You're right, Vito. To these lawmakers, the claims are not a true representation and pales in comparison considering the presidential system, which they describe as imperfect.
Now, they insist, Ademola, that the parliamentary system of government fosters and allows for efficient decision-making and policy implementation between the executive and legislative arms of government. Unlike the presidential, of course, which is in operation at the moment, that escalates abuse of power and corruption.
Wow. Nigeria's mode of governance after independence was the parliamentary system of government in the First Republic under the 1960 and 1963 constitutions, where a prime minister is a member of parliament served as head of government with a less defined separation of power.
And by January 15, 1966, the military truncated the process, ruling the country until transition in 1979, when the presidential system of government took effect under a new constitution in the Second Republic.
And this is not the first time such a bill to revert Nigeria to the parliamentary system of government has been introduced. A similar bill was sponsored in 2018, but it never scaled through in the constitutional amendment process at that time, Victor.
And even now, really, it's been a war of words, and thoughts following the proposed bill. And some political analysts and concerned Nigerians, I dare say, argue that since 1999, the running cost of governance leaves little to be desired, with Nigeria's budget on recorded expenditure than capital projects.
That's right. The potential shift from a presidential to a parliamentary system in Nigeria will no doubt mark a significant political change for the country, impacting how power is distributed and implemented within the government. But more importantly, how far can the lawmakers go in turning the tide of a system of government that has been in play for more than 4 decades? I am Ademola Adeoye. Welcome to Good Morning Nigeria, where we will examine the proposed parliamentary system of government.
Well, I'm Victor as well, so welcome you to today's program. You know, Ademola, that when you talk about 40 years, you also talk about how entrenched it has become. Interests all over the place. Nobody wants to be displaced, really.
So it's going to be a tough one.
It is. It is. It's a complete overhaul. It's unlike taking one little aspect of the Constitution. This one is a complete overhaul. It will change every aspect of governance. Well, we're reaching you live on the network service of the NTA, and soon enough we will have a newspaper review. But first, the news highlights with Frama Pai. Hello, Frama.
Hello, Victor. Seems like you missed Zenret. It's Frama. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Ademola. Here is the morning news. President Bola Tinubu is expressing early hope from the signs he saw that All Progressive Congress, APC, is looking good to win the forthcoming governorship elections in Edo State. The president expressed the confidence as he presented his party's flag to the standard bearer in the September 21st election. Monday, Okpebolo and his running mate, Dennis Idahosa, at the State House. The president, who appreciated the state leadership of the party for their role in resolving the internal crisis leading to the emergence of the candidate, and his running mate believes the coast is now clear for his party to take over the leadership of the state in the coming election.
Of what you've done as party leaders, putting our house in order. That is here for you to make names in Nigerian politics.
The National Assembly is rejigging the Students' Loan Access to Higher Education law to make implementation seamless. A public hearing on the executive bill was attended by ministers from the Education, Youth and Finance Ministries.
No underscoring the fact that the access to quality education is a pressing concern for many Nigerians.
Poverty should never be a barrier to education. It is our duty to dismantle these barriers and pave the way for all Nigerians to contribute meaningfully to national economic growth and development.
Now, beneficiaries of the federal government's food palliative in Jigawa State have commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the kind gesture, saying that the food has come at the right time. This was during the distribution of the 650 kg bags of rice to the beneficiaries in Dutse.
It's an intervention given by His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu to 20 states of the Federation to ease things for the Ramadan. We are hoping each and every party member is praying for good and they pray for government to succeed.
And now talking security, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the military, in collaboration with other security agencies, are making progress towards the rescue mission of several school students abducted in Kaduna and Borno states, and the victims will soon be reunited with their families unhurt. The Chief of Defense Staff gave the assurance while interacting with some of the parents of Kuriga school pupils abducted by suspected bandits a few days ago in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State.
But you, the parents, we know you have been spending sleepless nights. We equally are doing the same. We are with you in this, and will continue to be with this. We will put in everything possible. We are making some adjustments to ensure that Kaduna is secured. The Northwest is secured, Nigeria is secured.
Away from security now to judiciary matters. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has dismissed the appeal brought before it by Felix Okonkwo, counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, over his alleged unlawful arrest and detention by the police and the Department of State Services. The three-man panel of justices of the appellate court, in a unanimous verdict read by Justice Okon Abang, dismissed the appeal for lacking in merit and substance. Justice Abang held that the appellant failed to establish the alleged miscarriage of justice in the judgment of a High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in the matter. The appellants, comprising of Felix Okonkwo, Ikenna Chibuike and Okafo Ugochukwu, had dragged the Nigerian Police Force and the DSS before the High Court for the enforcement of their fundamental human rights. They specifically alleged the two security agencies of violating their fundamental rights by their unlawful arrest and detention on September 27, 2021, during which they claimed that they were tortured, harassed and intimidated while in the custody of the police. And that's the news for now. Good morning. Nigeria continues with Ademola and Victor in a moment.